Hi guys, how you doing? I'm Richard from GenkiEnglish.com and today, very excited, going to show you the brand new Genki Phonics 2.0. So as you know, Genki Phonics has been a huge success all around the world, teaching thousands of kids how to read. And this year, for example, we had Harvard Graduate School of Education doing research, and they said, based on a variety of analyses, it has been confirmed that the program has had a significant, positive and robust impact on students' learning outcomes. Pretty cool. You can't really ask better than that, can you? Well, actually you can because one of the teachers on the same course wrote, at the beginning of the course they couldn't read a single sentence, but now they can read a book. And I think that's just amazing. That's just fantastic. And this was in 6 weeks. So these kids couldn't read a sentence, is what they said. And they went through Genki Phonics, and within 6 weeks they could read a book, which is totally amazing. And I think it's fantastic. And I love all the work you guys have been doing and helping us support with this. It's just absolutely brilliant. So, as I say, we're going to now show you the new Genki Phonics 2.0 because we're always learning new things, what's better for the kids, what extra things needed to be added, and we've done this. Now, the thing with this new material is, this is advanced material. Not advanced for the kids, but advanced for teachers. So, if you haven't taught Genki Phonics yet, don't do this new one because you'll just end up totally confused by it. In that case, if you haven't taught it yet, stick with the regular Genki Phonics program. So if you go to genkiphonics.com, you'll find the 5-minute phonics program or the full regular Genki Phonics. Or if you're actually on genkiphonics.com at the moment, it's the video above. So first of all, try that out. Do that for a year or so till you get used to how it works. You see how it works with the kids and you see the results and all the rules and everything we've got. And do that first and then come back and check out this video on what the new stuff we've got. Okay? Cool. So everyone is here now. You've all gone through Genki Phonics. So I'll assume you know all the rules, you know all about Genki Phonics, okay? So let's show you what's new. Here we go. So, basically this is the worksheet one here. So basically the same worksheets as before, but what we've done is we've just changed the first few phonemes around. So last time we started off with S, and then we went to A. Problem with that was when it came to reading, we only had the word sa. And then we had the word sat, which wasn't really that useful. So for the new one, we've started off with t, and the next one is I. So we've got igloo and internet in. And what that allows us to do is from the second lesson, just 10 minutes into this, we can go for the reading I, t, it. It's a real word. The kids might not necessarily know it's a real word, but what they're doing is we're showing them they can read real words just from 10 minutes of phonics tuition, which is absolutely fantastic. The best thing is we got in the next one, is when we go into this one, we go s, it, sit, sit. So in every Genki English lesson we have the word sit as a warm-up, and that's when the kids go, wow, I've read a word, and it's a real word I know, and that's what gets all the magic going. So just changing a few things around have really made it really cool and much better. But we can go better still. So what we're thinking is, rather than this reading here, rather than just having words, wouldn't it be really cool if we could get the kids reading sentences in this reading section, right from the beginning? And again, only using phonemes they've only done before. So we've sort of done it on this one, okay? So for example, we have here, it, sit, and then it, sits, it, sits. And it's very nearly a sentence, which is quite cool. But of course, one of the things is that a lot of the funky words, the most common words we have in English that we need for sentences are actually funky words, which before we taught at the end of the course, but now we're actually bringing in and we're actually teaching them a lot earlier. So for example, if we go through to the A sound, after A, we bring in our first story. And these are real stories. So these are not just sentences. We've actually pulled them all out into a real story, which is cool. So first of all, we have the funky word. I'm going to introduce. This is I. Remember, these are the words you can't do phonetically. And then you can get the kids to read the story just from doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just lots of 5-minute lessons, 25 minutes. They can read a story, a whole story, which is pretty cool. So it starts off and let's go I. Okay, I. sit. I sit. Okay. They should be able to get the meanings if they've done Genki English first. So remember, the kids have got to be able to speak English before you do phonics. Just like with a baby, you don't go ABC. You know, you teach them to speak first and then teach them how to read. So they go I sit, okay. I tap, pat. Now, these two words are not in Genki English. The kids don't know it. Even if they can sound it out, they go tap, tap. No idea what it means. So for all the new words that are not included in Genki English, we've put on a little illustration with the word. So they can read it and go tap, and you go, okay, don't know what it is? No problem, let's have a look on the sheet. And they say, oh, tap, yeah. Oh, tap, okay, I understand what tap means. And then same with the next word, pat. Yeah, pat. Don't know what that means, but look here, this little thing, oh, Pat. Oh, so his name is Pat. You can tell them that. Use their own language when you need to. It's very important they understand. Understanding is the key. And the next one, Pat, sit. Okay, Pat, sit. They'll do it a few times, they'll figure it out, okay? And then Pat sits. It's very simple, but instead of just the single, one words that we had before, it's actually in full sentences, which is cool. And if the kids think about it, they actually know that it makes a story, and it's good. And then we got in here, I can read. When they can read it, you give it a tick. And you get them to draw the story below. And this gives you the comprehension to actually see if they actually know what's going on. And this is the really cool thing about it. This is the key about reading. Reading is not about reciting words or memorizing words. Reading is all about taking these weird, funny symbols that, they really don't mean anything, don't these letters? They're just made up a few thousand years ago to try and represent our language. And reading means taking these weird, abstract things, sounding them out, seeing them in your head, and then understanding something new. That's fundamentally what reading means, and that's what we wanted to get back to. So with this, we have a story, and then we get the kids to draw it, and then think about it. So it's not just reciting lines, it's not just repeat after me or anything. They're really thinking, you can really get them to understand what's going on. And if they don't, you can help them. As you've seen with the regular phonics that you did last year, your patience really is the key. A kid will read the words sit, 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 and they'll say it 1,000,000 times, and you'll be thinking, it's sit, it's obvious, but to them it's not, because they haven't quite made the link yet. And even with something like I sit, they know the word I, because they've learnt it in Genki, so they know the word sit, but I sit, and it takes them ages, and you have to really, really give them the pause. They really need the patience just to let them figure it out themselves. And one of the best ways of doing this as well with the workbooks is to give the kids in pairs. So one kid becomes a teacher, one kid becomes the student, and they read with each other. And you don't need to do anything. And that way you resist the temptation as a teacher to jump in and tell them stuff. And you see, we go through, so for example, the next one is an and we've got an story here. The new words are all with the pictures. And the cool thing about this is that the kids then, they're actually seeing the picture and then they're reading the word, and the phonemes are they've already done these, so they know how to pronounce it. They're actually not learning to read, they're reading to learn, which is an amazing thing. They're actually sounding words out with perfect pronunciation because they've done the Genki phonics, and then they're learning new words like tin and spit and pips and things. If you go on here, they've got the word stamp. Stamp. Oh, okay, stamp. They're reading to learn. So they learn loads of words in Genki English, and in this new course with all these stories, they're learning so many new vocabulary words as well, and character names as well, and like met and things like that, and stuck and cup and things. And then also as well with the pictures, we've really thought them out. So, for example, this is rat, rat. So they learn the word rat. But if you look at the story, it says Ron is a rat. Okay, Ron is a red rat. Ron can rap and Ron can run. So you can ask the kids questions like saying, so is this Ron? And if the kids haven't read it and understand it, they'll say yes. But the bright kids who have read it will go, well, no, that's not Ron, because Ron is a red rat. Yeah? So they've taken this information that they've seen in these abstract symbols and actually made it into real knowledge, which is fantastic and what this is all about. And also because it's Genki English, it's all funky and rhymey and things. So you've got Hannah is a hippo. Hannah is a hip-hop hippo. I want to hop, said Hannah the hip-hop hippo. and things like that. So there's all the rhyme and the rhythm, and it sounds really, really cool. It's not your kiddie sort of stuff. And then we've got extra activities, like for example, this one we give half the story and the kids write the next half of it. And this one here, we've got Fip and Fop, 2 characters, yeah? And again, you know, Fip is a fit frog and Fop is a fat frog. Fip and Fop can run and hop. Come on, Fip, come on, Fop. Fip and Fop, hop, hop, hop. Cool, isn't it? If you don't have much time, you can split it up. So just give the kids the first 2 sentences to read, or just 1 or 2. Usually it takes about 5 minutes to read 1 line. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your things, yeah? So the main page takes 5 minutes, and then 1 line of these takes 5 minutes. So if you actually wanted to do all these, that would actually take a good, you know, chunk of time there. So maybe split it up over different lessons. And we go through, and there's all these different ones, some very cool ones with vowels, and well, the West theme there as well. Mix and Max the foxes and stuff like that. And of course, Baby Monkey appears. We've got Buzz and Zack, and they're zigzagging around everywhere. And we've got Quest and Ducks and all sorts of things. So there's a ton of material in here. It's taken us ages. Thank you everybody who's helped us with it. Thank you guys for trying it out. I think you're going to love it. There is so much reading material in here. Your bright kids are going to be able to whiz through it and learn so much more. The slower kids are still going to have the confidence of actually looking at something and being able to read it and stuff. So if you're not sure, check out the regular 5-minute phonics. You know, do that at genkiphonics.com, and then once you've taught that course, come back here and try out the new Genki Phonics 2.0 with the stories. I think you're going to love it. I think it's going to make it another huge leap in kids reading and learning to understand, and making the jump from speaking to actually going to books and things like that. And that's what it's all about. Is you know, once the kids can speak and stuff with Genki English, it's getting them able to read and just pick up books and say, I can read this, this is amazing, this is cool, and with no stress from the teacher, and in a really fast amount of time. And of course, you know, it's really fun using all the characters and stuff like that. So, I'm Richard from Genki English. Enjoy Genki Phonics 2.0. Give me all your feedback and stuff, and maybe we'll make a 3rd one, we never know. But there we go, that's Genki Phonics. Enjoy yourselves, thank you for all your support, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.